Welcome to my channel, Manifest Your Quest. Today, I have a wonderful guest before me. Every week, I have beautiful and wonderful guests who help us manifest our quest in our lives. So, here today, I have someone who will give you many manifestation techniques. I'm so glad that we have a stalwart who is a PLR expert in India. So I'm someone very special. Welcome to Manifest Your Quest. I am Rani Roop Laxmi, and we are here to talk about manifestation and what all we can do about it. So I have a wonderful and a very majestic guest before me, and a very humble personality too. Though there are a lot of accolades and a lot of accomplishments that she's carrying, but she's so down to earth and so beautiful, such a humble personality that it is said that कि जो पेड़ जितने ज्यादा फलों से लदे होते हैं उतने ज्यादा झुके होते हैं. She is one of those who's ready to give away her achievements and all those knowledge that and all that she has achieved. She is so beautiful and humble and always ready to give the knowledge, gyan, always so much in the giving attitude. And thank you so much, ma'am, Dr. Trupti Jayin, for being here on my show. So a little bit, let me share with you all who is Dr. Trupti Jayin. She has been working in the field of past life regression, and her show Raz Pichle Janam Ka has got her a lot of accolades, and many celebrities, many people have come to know about her. And today in India, she is a celebrated and a very awarded person. She has been presented a lot of awards, and she is a pioneer in this field. She is an expert in NLP as well. She has got she has been working with a lot of people and in different ways and means to help them come out of their difficulties and subconscious problems that they have been going through. There are a lot of things that ma'am has been doing, so let us hear directly from her. Though she is a clinical psychologist and occupational therapist, and I have known her more as a guru, as a mentor. Though she has been working with children, she has been attached with schools as well. But overall, let me tell you all that she's a personality which is much, her name is much larger than what she is. She is a huge person. And let me start, ma'am, with your journey. How would you like to, tell us about it?
Well, first of all, thank you, Rashi, for inviting me. It's always an honor, and I'm always grateful when people reach out to me and they want to know more about me or more about the work. I'm always there to tell them and inspire them further. My journey has been invigorating, energizing, and it's been just fantastic, you know. For me, if I have to say what really led me to doing the work that I do, I always believe, you know, that the greatest power is in pain. When you are in pain, you put effort. When you're not in pain, you don't put any effort, right? You just want life to, you know, you just enjoy life, and there's a lot of pleasure, and you go here and there and wear good clothes and eat good food and travel the world. But when there is pain, you put effort. And I truly believe that my work is to access those people who are in pain. And nowadays, with the state in which the world is in, there is grief and there is pain both. And this is the best time to transform. Pain has a quality to transform. You ask anybody in pain, they'll tell you कि वो कुछ ना कुछ कर रहे हैं अपने साथ. They're visiting the doctor, or they are trying Reiki, or they're doing pranic healing, or they're doing past life therapy. They want to get out of pain. And because they put effort, they get some result. And they get some result, so they transform their lives. So I truly believe that my work is centered around giving relief to people who are in pain. In all my life, I think I've only done that, whether it's my members in my family, my seniors who will reach out to me, or my friends, or my clients, or my students, or my patients. So I think that's been one of the biggest learning of my life, that pain is something that should not be, you should not get distracted from pain. You should use that gift that has been given to us to transform. It's like when somebody pinches you, you do something, right? So, similarly, when you have physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, you will do something. And the other thing that's happened in my life, which has been a huge learning for me, Rashi, has been that my work has become effortless because of that. I don't put any effort because I've understood what pain can do. So I don't put effort. I don't think my work has any effort. I just do it effortlessly because I just initially in my life, yes, I wanted to learn this and learn that, and then put a lot of effort to uh, build my, kind of resources, arsenal as we call. But today I don't even think when I have a client what do I have to do, because it just comes naturally. And all this is because I honed my skills. I didn't sit back and say, okay, now I'm 30, or now I'm 40, or now I'm married, or now I'm settled, so I don't have to do anything. I don't believe in that. I believe that you must put effort in the right direction, and then you can reap the fruits of it.
So beautifully said, ma'am. And each word coming out of your mouth is actually like a string of truth. The way you have actually placed it, how grief and pain is actually the point of transformation, and how, ma'am, this is such a fact that each and every person running out of that pain is working towards their, coming out of the pain and becoming, looking for some happiness, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely.
So beautifully said, ma'am. And the way, ma'am, you have transformed so many people, healed innumerable people in India and abroad, since I have been a part of your group and I've seen the kind of people who are getting transformed. It is no small feat. It is like you're bringing a huge change in the entire system. And I still remember when Raj Pichle Janam Ka was being aired 11 years back. I was, since ma'am, I believe that I'm a huge manifester, like I'm able to manifest what I think I can. So I thought that I want to meet this person. I have to meet ma'am. And ma'am, 3 years later, I was there before you, though I did not recognize you, but I was there every year. I met you in the school twice or thrice, but I never recognized you. But I was thinking, ma'am, all these years I have been manifesting you, though I did not realize who is it. But ma'am, your contribution and your work has been so much, and it is all to do with helping people and driving away the negatives from their lives and helping them come overcome the pain they are going through and live a normal life. I want to know, ma'am, how have you managed to uplift so many people, orient the mental states of people who were so disoriented in their lives?
Rashi, the word disorientation is caused when greed is perceived as need. So when you are greedy and you perceive it as a need, that's when you get disoriented from life. So whether it's anxiety or it's phobia, all this is caused because we falsely identify the source of anxiety outside us. That I don't have enough money, so I'm anxious. Or I'm depressed because I don't have somebody to love me, right? And this greed for love or money or wealth or anything, a big car or a big house, is actually perceived as need. I need this to be happy. And moment you teach somebody or you tell somebody or you guide somebody that this is not your need, what is need? Your need is to be happy. Whether you have a small car or a big car doesn't make a difference. So I think when you start orienting people to their need and reduce their greed, life can be beautiful. And that's exactly what my work has been. I truly believe that the more you look inward, take time, pause, look inward. The more you look inward, you will realize that I don't need this. This is not required for me to be happy. So that's where the distinction comes between greed and need. I'll give you an example of an interesting client of mine. People will immediately understand what I mean by this. A client of mine came up and he said, "Ma'am, I'm extremely depressed." And I said, "Okay, what's the reason?" And he said, "I came down from my house and I saw next to my car there was another car, a new car that maybe somebody had bought." And I asked the watchman, whose car is this? और watchman ने मुझे कहा, वो Mr. Gupta जो रहते 5th floor पे, उसकी गाड़ी है. So this man told me that, "Ma'am, moment I sat in my car, I started thinking, how did Mr. Gupta buy this car? He's always complaining, उसके पास पैसे नहीं है, उसका business ठीक से नहीं चल रहा है." So this guy who had come to see me, by the time he reached his office, was depressed. Why? Because he was comparing that how he has not bought a new car and his friend has bought a new car. Okay? So all that time, one and a half month till he came to see me, he was just depressed. He didn't like anything. His business went into a loss. Why? Because in his mind, his greed was taking over his need. And this is what causes depression, anxiety, phobia, whatever you want to say. All your mental sickness comes because you are caught in a trap where you want to be better than somebody or you want to be better than who you are. It's like, a man who's walking on crutches thinks of taking part in the Olympics. So there is something called realistic thinking, which most people don't do. And when they don't do that, that's definitely going to take them towards becoming depressed. So I orient people, that's really the work of all coaches, and guides. You orient people to what is needed for them to be happy. Then everything else takes shape.
Very nice story, ma'am. And it is such a fact, ma'am, that though we as humans, we are quite aware that yes, how does it matter what is the other doing? But at the end of the day, somewhere or the other, we are getting affected by what is happening around us. So, ma'am, if you can help us and help my viewers here, what is it that we can do for ourselves where we can create not only a better state of mind for ourselves and not get affected by external, these things when somebody buys or somebody is going to a higher level? What is it that is happening? What is it that we can actually control ourselves? Not a control, be happy about them as well and go on a different state for us also, like be in a good state. And what I understand, ma'am, I what as a manifestation coach, that unless and until we are in a very good manifestation state, that is very good state, we can't manifest. So if you can help us and my viewers here, because that state is very important for them.
Yes, absolutely. I think what is really important is to understand, Rashi, is that we do not manifest through our mind. We manifest through a state of being aware. That's the first thing that we have to understand, okay? Because people work with the mind, okay? But as we know that the mind is like a monkey, right? It keeps jumping around. So if I keep working with a monkey, maybe once or twice I can get it in control, but all the time I cannot get it in control, right? But if I work with pure consciousness or pure being aware of myself, understanding that I'm not the thought that is in my mind, I'm not the idea in my mind, but I can manifest that idea. I, capital I, means the state of awareness. So if I'm aware, then I will be able to handle the mind. Because at this moment, the mind is handling me. So I'm trying to pull the reins of my mind. No, is taraf jao, us taraf jao. As we say, the mind is filled with chatter and clutter. How do I manifest from a mind that is chattering? I cannot. So the key first thing is that people need to become aware that the same mind that is giving me unhappiness, I can create happiness in that same mind. That means the monkey that is jumping around, I can rein the monkey in. The problem here is that I am not powerful enough to do it. What you are teaching, Rashi, is to manifest through the I, the capital I, that is powerful. And for that, that I has to become powerful. And that can only come with awareness. Awareness of who I am, what I exactly want. People who come to you and me will say, I want A, B, C, D till Z. They want everything, right? But at this moment, when you are 25 years old, what is it that you can get? Can you get like 1 crore of rupees in your bank at age 25? Maybe not. But you can definitely get 50,000 rupees a month. So the key is, what is it that you can get at this moment? Be very clear about it. That's the first thing. Okay? So be aware of what is possible at this moment. Then you show the person the various possibilities from this point, right? So this is the place I am, and this is possible, and these are possibilities. Now, from this place to a particular kind of direction that I want to go, how am I going to reach it? And then, of course, I believe in structure very much. So there has to be a structure, step by step. You can't jump. So I think the steps is something that possibly the person needs to work out with the guide or the mentor. And then I'm sure people can reach the goal. The other thing I always tell people is that there is a distance between where I am and where I want to be. To bridge this distance, you will need some mentorship, some guidance from somewhere. Reading good books is very, very important. At your bedside, you must have a powerful book or a powerful quote or a powerful affirmation, that you kind of tell yourself before you go to sleep. Or nowadays, a lot of people do a lot of visualizations, right? So something should be there at the end of the day that you do repeatedly. People have this idea that ek baar kar liya to hona chahiye. It's not possible. Manifestation happens when that distance can be bridged only when at a moment you are having a powerful, like a powerful affirmation, a powerful hypnotic suggestion, and it is attainable. In your mind, that goal should be attainable. Then everything can take place. And of course, breathing. I always lay a lot of stress on breath work because when I'm anxious, my breathing is different. When I'm depressed, my breathing is different. When I'm happy, my breathing is different, right? So breath, your prana, can actually be the biggest resource for any kind of manifestation. Trust me. I remember, I'll share with you and the viewers, that about 15 years ago, I had attended a workshop which was only on breath work. And they taught us how to breathe to manifest. And they said, put one thought in your breath that you think is impossible. So just one thought, okay, that it is impossible at this moment for you, and breathe that. And there's a certain kind of breathing that was taught to us. And I remember when I started breathing and I put that thought in the prana, it actually became magnified. And as it got magnified and magnified and magnified, I could feel that that it's a reality. I could sense that this is reality. This is going to happen. And the impossible thought I had put at that time, 15, 16 years ago, was that every day a new patient should call me. Okay, every day I should have a new patient who should call me. And it should manifest. And that patient should come and see me, not just call me, okay? And you wouldn't believe it. I came back from my retreat that day and today. 16 years of my life, I've always had a new patient calling me every day. So, breath, your prana, is your secret. It's so beautiful. I always tell my students and everybody that God gave you a gift, but He didn't tell you it's a gift. And you thought it's just natural breathing, But God has his magical ways, illusionary ways of fooling you. So He put the breath inside you, and you didn't even know that that's your biggest gift. So for me, my breath, my prana is my biggest gift. And I want people to hear this and understand this, how important breath work is. The other thing I want to tell people, a little trick, how to get out of a bad situation. You could be depressed, you could be phobic, you could be anxious, you could be nervous. The only thing that you have to do is get back to your normal breath. Everyone knows what your normal breath is, right? Your normal breathing, you hardly notice. That's your normal breathing, right? So when you're anxious, notice your breath. It will be fast. Just manipulate your breath in such a way that it becomes normal again. And your anxiety-filled thoughts will disappear. It's as simple as that. So you don't need to have a psychotropic drug to do that. You don't need to go to a psychiatrist and take all the medications. You can start with this first. Maybe if it gets worse, you may need help of a doctor. But initially, if it's just normal anxiety, nervousness, this is the best thing to do. And trust me, Rashi, you will actually see that the anxiety-filled thoughts have gone. They've got transformed, into just maybe no thoughts or just easy thoughts. This is what I want to tell people. It's not rocket science to be happy.
Wow. I truly feel that ma'am gives away so much in such a small amount of time. And my viewers here definitely will understand why all your all you say patient and ma, they convert into your own disciple, ma'am, and they call you ma so lovingly. And this is the reason why you're so caring, and you say these small things which becomes actually these are so such big things which you actually tell them, while talking. And yeah, and we believe, ma'am, that you actually can, since it has come from you, so it really matters a lot to us, so we are going to practice it. So I want to tell all my viewers also that what ma'am has been telling us, it is not a small thing. So start practicing it also. And since ma'am has gone through like she has experienced a lot, and she has met so many people, healed so many people in her own life. So it is not just an example, it is something which is out of an experience. So I would like to ask you, ma'am, here, so that how have your journey been up here like? It has been so much, ma'am. You have seen so much. And it is so beautiful to hear different stories coming out of you. And it's so entrancing. It's always a pleasure.
Like I said, my journey has been very interesting. And I just want to let people know that, a lot of young people out there uh, believe that they should have some goal, or they should have some purpose, or they should have some ambition. But trust me, I have none. When I started out in my life, when I started working, um, I just wanted to work. That's all. I just wanted to help people. That was my goal since I was a very little girl, that I want to wipe out the tears from people's eyes. That was the only goal in my life, okay? And I didn't know how I would do that. But my father said that just walk on the path, and those who need you to wipe their tears will come in front of you. So you don't have to go here and there. You just walk and keep that in your mind, what you want to do. And that's exactly what I did. I don't remember ever having an ambition, मुझे ये करना है, मुझे इतने पैसे कमाने हैं, मुझे इतनी बड़ी गाड़ी लेनी है, या मुझे यहाँ जाना है, मुझे travel करना है, मुझे यूरोप देखना है. I've never had these ambitions ever in my life, because I was very clear why I'm here. I'm here so that I can help. I don't need to distract or divert my mind here and there, everywhere, because that's not important for me. So I think I have always had this feeling in my heart since I was young, that I have to look inward. I must not look outside for help, because help is in me. I can help myself. I remember my father said one thing to me, that the same mind that is causing us grief, the same mind can give us happiness. It's not that there's another mind that you have to create to get happy. It's the same mind. How you're going to manipulate, mold, put in that mind is up to you. If you're going to put rubbish in your mind, well, you will at the end of the day have to empty it in a garbage bin. But if you put good things in your mind, read the right things, listen to the right stuff, see the right things, your mind will automatically become happy. And that's what I followed with my dad, being my guide. I remember when I was 18, he sent me, he said, now it's time for you to go for Vipassana. And I went, and that's, I think, the first step towards understanding that everything that is happening in my mind is happening on a screen. It's not happening to me. So that's when I learned about the object and subject. You are not the grief that you feel. You can handle the grief. So that's where the power is something that I think I got. So I recommend everybody should go for a camp. You go for a camp of yoga, you go for a camp of vipassana, you go for a camp of meditation. But it's important to get children when they're a little older, 17, 18, 19, they must go. Because that's when they will understand that the power lies in them. You can create your reality. That only you can do if you understand this. If you don't, then you'll get distracted, because there's enough in the world around us to completely distract you. And the other thing is, through my life, every patient, every client, every student that has come to me, I've always thought of them as a beam of light. You said that I have many disciples, and they call me Ma, but they also know very well that I don't believe in psychophancy. And Ma is a very bombastic word, and it carries a lot of responsibility on one shoulder. And I don't want that. So I always tell my students, even when I teach them on the last day of all my workshops, I will tell them, you dare call me up at any time. You dare become dependent on me, because I've given you what I have. Now it's up to you how you take it forward. So they know that very well. The important thing is, everybody who comes into my life, Rashi, I consider them like a ray of light. And so many rays of light make me shine. So it's not that I am shining, it's because of all these wonderful people who come into my life who make me shine. So I am eternally grateful to everyone who's ever called me or come and seen me, because I have learned so much from them. They are my true teachers. No book can teach you, trust me. Only a live human experience can teach you. And that's what I have got in my life. Thousands of people whom I have met, each one of them, has given me something. Something. Either they've taught me what not to do, or they've taught me what to do. But that's really how I see my life. It's really been wonderful. I have a saying that I always tell my students: is life is like an adventure. Walk barefoot. So that's really how I think of life.
Ma'am, you have been helping, healing, and I have seen people before being healed and after how their life has have changed after that. And I think the gratitude, that gratitude brings out the word mom. I think that is what is it's. I don't think it is psychophancy, ma'am. It is more to do with like totally dedicated to something that has actually transformed their lives. And I have seen that happening in so many people, that the kind of grief or the kind of pain they were going through all their lives, and suddenly, like when they experience this joy, it is like they have suddenly entered into the, as you say, sunshine, into the world of a sunshine, and the world that you have shown them. So I've seen that, ma'am, happening with people around you, and I've seen in with my own eyes. It's so beautiful. It's incredible, actually, what you are actually spreading to the world. And from you, I have learned so much. Like I love helping people, but to the level I'm learning so much from you. And not only me, I have seen so many people like uh, getting to understand what is the real meaning of the world, what is the real meaning, how to actually live in this world, how to execute ourselves in this world, what are we here for. There are so many things you teach us every day, ma'am. It's actually a pleasure just being in contact with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, ma'am, I would like to know, what is it that you find most enriching in your life?
What I find enriching is teaching. I love teaching. I love sharing. I love meeting people. Actually, I'm a very introverted person. I love spending time with myself. But because of the work that I do, I interact a lot with people. And now I really enjoy it, because now when we have students coming in, and like recently we went to Rishikesh and we had 56 students coming in to learn, huge group of people from different varied experiences, different parts of the world, and it's so enriching just to hear their stories. And you can imagine 56 people with 56 different life experiences. It's amazing, just amazing. And when I read all their experiences, because they generally have to write their experiences before they come, so I have an idea about the group size and what is it that the group is wanting. I find that everybody is wanting love. Everybody is wanting only one thing, and that is love. Um, so, if you want love, then you'll have to make yourself like a container of love. Otherwise, how are you going to give and get? Because that's how humans are. You give something, you get something. That's really how, kind of transactions take place on this earth. But if you don't have a container with little bit of love also, then how are you going to get it? So you will have to first fill yourself up. But the problem is that people feel that ये मुझे प्यार नहीं कर रहा है, वो मुझे प्यार नहीं कर रहा है, ये मुझे attention नहीं दे रहा है. So they are wanting others to give them first, then they will give. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. It's not possible. So it's important. That is where actually Rashi past life therapy helps, because when you do the past life therapy, you understand that even if you have lack of love, where is it coming from? From you. Even if you have lack of wealth, where is it coming from? You. So suddenly you begin to focus on yourself. And that is where there's a shlok in the Gita which says, uplift yourself by yourself. So this shloka is very relevant to what I'm saying just now, because moment through past life therapy, you come to know that this is what you lack because of this, or this is what you don't have because of that. You start working on it. And when you start working on it, you start filling yourself up, right? And then it becomes very easy. Love will start flowing from you, and everything will be exactly the way you want. You have to work only on yourself. That's all. Uplift yourself by yourself. There is nobody else who's going to lift you. Trust me. Yeah, initially somebody may, जब एक छोटा बच्चा शुरुआत में जब वॉक करना स्टार्ट करता है तो वो गिरता है और माँ उसको उठाती है ना? बट हमेशा तो नहीं उठाएगी ना. सो इवेंचुअली द चाइल्ड विल हैव टू रन. और अगर बड़ा होने के बाद बच्चा गिर जाता है तो माँ विल से कि गेट अप नाउ, बिकॉज नाउ यू कैन गेट अप ऑन योर ओन. तो ये हमें भूलना नहीं चाहिए, हम तो बड़े हैं, है ना? So work on yourself, and that is what has energized me, honestly. My students will tell me कि मैम 11 बज गए, मैम 11:30 बज गए, 12 बज गए, 12:30 बज गए, मैम अब तो हमें सोने दो. So I have so much of energy, which all my students will tell you कि मुझे नींद नहीं आएगी जब मैं सिखाऊंगी तो. Because मुझे लग रहा है कि इतना कुछ जो सीखा है, I have learned so much, or I have gained so much, I have so much experience. I read somewhere, I think there's a beautiful uh, essay or poem which says die empty. So I really loved that. You have to die empty. At the end of this life, if I'm going to carry this baggage, what's the point? So I better just leave everything that I've learned here and die empty. So I think that's what makes me feel energized all the
Wow.
time.
So beautiful, ma'am. So profound. So beautiful. And ma'am, can you tell me if you believe in manifestation big time, or have you manifest those childhood dreams that we dream of in our while? Can you tell us some stories?
Manifestation, like I said, when you are aware, you can manifest anything that you want. And sometimes manifestation happens because there's a deep desire inside you to do good. I don't think manifestation happens when you have a deep desire to create ill for somebody. So if you have a deep desire, it just manifests itself. But it's important to have that deep desire to do good to others. And yeah, I have manifested a lot in my life. I can share with the viewers something very sweet that happened in my life before I met my husband. People would love to know that. And I haven't spoken about this, I think, but I think I'm somehow prompted by you to speak
Please,
that because
please
it's
share,
about
ma'am.
manifestation. So before I met my husband, he comes from a completely different background, different caste, religion, everything. And I used to dream of him. So I'd never
Okay.
met him, but I used to have a dream in which I would see this person, okay, very clearly. And then it was a dream. So, it would come and go kind of stuff, right? And then I saw him in a play, in a drama. So he's basically an actor. So I saw him in a play and I recognized him, that this is the person who comes in my dreams. And of course, I mean, I don't know him, he doesn't know me, right? And then a couple of months later, at that time I used to dance, on stage. So I was attending a dance workshop, and there was somebody there who wanted to do a play. So she told me that, you have such wonderful facial expressions. Why don't you take part in this dance drama that I'm going to be doing? So I said, no, I've never, performed drama on stage. I can dance on stage. She said, नहीं, dance drama है, तुम आराम से कर सकती हो ना. तो मैंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है सोचती हूँ इसके बारे में. But destiny and manifestation sometimes go together. And I went to her house for the reading of the play. And lo behold, who do I see but that man, that actor? And he was sitting right there, and I was like stunned. I said, is this even possible? And then I sat there, and my mind was like, you know, I was hardly 24 and my mind was whirling that what is happening? Like, how did this happen? Because manifestation, like you said, also starts in your dreams. It's not only physically that you manifest things, and that's why I said, before you go to sleep, you have to affirm what you want, because then it will come in your dreams, and then from your dreams it will come to reality, because everything happens first in imagination, right? And what is dream? Nothing but an imagination. So now this person is sitting there in the room and my mind is whirling, and don't, I mean, you can believe this, but he came up to me and said, "Can I drop you home?" And I said, "That's exactly what I've been waiting for," right? To manifest. And well, he dropped me home, and eventually 3 years later we got married.
Wow.
It's been 37 years now of staying married. So, what I'm saying about manifestation is yes, it can happen. It can happen consciously, that you think about manifestation. But manifestation happens in the unconscious realm, in the subconscious realm. That's when manifestation actually begins to gain a lot of energy. And that is why our dream state rather, not our dreams, but our dream state is so important. Swapna sthiti is a sthiti where we are not dead, nor are we sleeping. We are actually manifesting. And once you do it in your dream state, this is what I learned at that young age, that once you do it in your dream state, it just manifests into the real world and the physical world. It may take time to manifest, right?
Is it visualization, that's swapnasthiti, or is it more deeper than visualization?
It's not visualization, Rashi. It's like an intention. It's like a belief, right? I believe that this phone is going to take my message across. Do I question it? Do I say, no, 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 it's not possible? No, I believe in it. Because the intention of the phone company is to manufacture a smartphone which can help me to transact through WhatsApp or whatever, right? So the key is intention. How pure is your intention? Once your intention is set, it will automatically manifest. Then you don't have to work on it, right? You work on things because you don't believe in it. Like, I can only tell you from my experience that there is no need to continuously affirm. Not that every day you tap, tap, tap and affirm. Because if you keep doing that every day, it means you don't believe it's going to happen. So you have to keep doing it, right? But if you put your intention, like I said, you walk on the path, right? Maybe the path will have thorns. Maybe the path will have roses. Maybe the path will be dry, stony, rocky, whatever. But walk on that path. That's all, right? People who you want to manifest with will come. But प्रॉब्लम क्या है राशि कि लोगों को क्विक फिक्स चाहिए. They want a quick fix or they want a easy way out. There is no easy way out. You will have to build that intention in your mind. You'll have to build that focus in your mind and go with it. Path can be rocky, like I said. You may fall, you may stumble, you may get hurt, but you cannot give it up. That's what I've learned, I think, from reading books and books on saints. What do saints do? Do they have a wonderful life? Like a rosy bed to lie down? No, they don't, right? But it does
So
not matter to them.
ultimately, persistence is a key, very important point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Persevere. Persevere. That's all you have to do. Nothing else.
Wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, if I can ask you your moment of transformation, that moment of clarity, or a moment of eureka. So when was
I've
that?
had many eureka moments in my life, but I think the one eureka moment, because you spoke about Ras Pichle Janam Ka, it was, thought that such a show could ever come on television. But my Eureka moment was when I did the first episode. And, you know, in front of people whom I don't know, even the subject I've just met about half an hour ago, not that I met the person before or I guided the person, nothing. I just met the client half an hour before who had come on the set, and then I spoke to the client, I explained to the client how I'm going to be talking, and then the client goes on the bed and lies down, and I start the entire process. And then the client has this fantastic experience. It was the first episode that I did ever on that set. And I was like stunned that my belief system that people cannot regress without music, or they can't regress if it's not very dark, or they can't regress, uh, in front of people, uh, just went away. I just thought, my God, I mean, here's this person uh, who I don't know, and in front of lights, blinding lights, and there's no music, there's even sound, like of the air or birds or something like that, which enter the set. And she knows, this client knows very well that there are people who are watching her, and it's going to come on air. Okay, he's getting regressed. It was a eureka moment for me. It just broke a lot of belief systems that I had about past life therapy itself. So that was a eureka moment, Rashi. It was amazing. And, the entire season that I did, 2 seasons that I did, I remember I would be eating like just this much of khichdi the whole day, nothing else. And I had so much of energy. And that's another eureka thing that happened in my life, that it was not about feeding the physical body, that I needed to do. My spiritual body or my other koshas are so powerful that I don't need to think of my physical body. These are some amazing eureka moments that the show gave me.
So incredible, ma'am. You're sharing it with us. But these transformed moments and these beautiful insights that you gained, you're sharing today with us. And actually, we are feeling it. I am actually feeling it. What you are saying, with all the goosebumps. Beautiful. Awesome. Ma'am, I would like to know uh, what is it that you would like to share with my viewers here? Like, during this time of pandemic when things are actually going south for many people and many people are depressed, so what is it that you would like to tell them, that life is when the life is being unfair, or there are so many challenges lying with them, how is it that they should be in what kind of space of mind, what should be their mindset to deal with everything like this?
See, I can only tell one thing, and that is that nothing lasts forever. So the pandemic or the virus has got a shelf life, right? So this virus is going to mutate further and further, and as it continues to mutate, it's going to lose its grip. It's going to become dull, listless, and eventually become dormant. It's not going to die, but it's going to become dormant, just like maybe the kind of smallpox virus, right? So that's the first thing that we have to understand. This is not forever, because nothing is permanent, everything is temporary, right? So is the virus. Now, key is that we have to change the way we are functioning. We are working from home, school is from home, we have to spend more time at home with our loved ones. Now let's make it the best, right? Let's make this time the best time. And I sincerely believe that this was meant to happen because people were running here helter skelter, spending money, uh, investing money in things that are really not required, right? Going to hotels and eating instead of having home cooked food. I mean, look at where we were going. Yeah, we were on the brink of destruction. But this pandemic has given us a pause. We are pausing. Suddenly we're thinking, you know, what is it that we need to do? People are now thinking of saving money. हमारे देश में तो वैसे भी कहा जाता है कि saving is very important, है ना? But the key is people all over the world are thinking now of saving. If you save for your tomorrow, it's going to be a better tomorrow for your children and for yourself. So I think that the pandemic is come at the right time. And slowly people will function in another way. That's all. पहले there is a lot of resistance, है ना? कोई भी नई चीज जब होती है तो resistance होता है. So ये the people were into resistance the last 1.5 year. Now slowly they are realizing कि भाई ऐसे ही जीना है. ठीक है, very good. ऐसे ही जियो, है ना? People have deferred buying a new car, buying a house because they don't need it. उनको ज़रूरत नहीं है उस चीज़ की. तो मुझे लग रहा है कि pandemic has woken up all of us to the fact of what we need and not greed. So I think it's a great thing for us. Let's adjust to a new style of life and a new way
Absolutely.
of functioning, a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of, a different kind of relationships like we are meeting here on the virtual media. But I don't think that the love or the affection has gone down. So why should we be worried? There's nothing to worry. This is going to pass. This too shall pass, as they say. So
Very
just
true,
hold
ma'am.
on, that's all.
So, ma'am, how do you, ma'am, since this is a time of pandemic and this is a time I have met you, I have seen so many different shades of you. So, firstly, I would like to know, how do you keep reinventing yourself? I see a different version of you here and there, and it's so nice to see different. You are creating different kind of reels, ma'am. So, how do you like keep reinventing yourself?
Well, I believe that you have to allow your child in you never to die. Your spontaneous, free child should always be kept alive. And that's really what I do. I'm generally with younger people uh, because, I get a lot of information from them. I talk a lot to my daughter who's younger, and I learn about how she's thinking and how her friends are thinking. And so I'm always open to communication. I love communicating with people. And I just love learning new things. If there's
Mm-hmm.
something online which is interesting, I will definitely join the course and learn. Then some of my friends will say that, "अब तुम्हें क्या सीखना है?" Like my mom will say, "अरे अभी तक तुम सीखती ही रहती हो क्या?" So I said, "Yeah, why not? My child wants to be fed once a pizza, next day burger, third day chapati. So same thing goes with my mind, right? I also want to feed it with something new. So I truly believe that keep learning, keep growing, keep understanding more and more, keep meeting people. Um, you have to just keep doing that till you give up this physical body. इसलिए तो हमें इतना सारा दिया हुआ है. And there's so much to learn, Rashi. There's so
Actually,
much to
yes,
do, है ना? So
so much.
I believe in that. Just keep yourself young. That's all.
And ma'am, like there are so many facets to you. So which facet of your do you love the most? Which personality? Like I believe that you're a thinker, you're a philosopher, you love reading, and I know that you love the books of philosophies that you discuss with us. Uh, you're a mentor, you are a psychologist, you are a counselor, you're an author, you're a reformer. But among all, which personality do you love yourself the most?
I think I'm a little of everything. So I can't say I love this more than that because that will be like, making one self of mine inferior to the other. So I think we have to own up to all that we are.
Uh-huh.
So I think I own up to every aspect of me. Some things are maybe difficult, some things are easy, like being a wife and a mom is the most difficult role that I think I have taken. The rest of all the roles that you said are very easy for me. But being a wife and a mom is the most difficult role because you're with these two people all your life, morning till night. I think that's one of the most difficult roles. And because I want to steal some time to read, but my daughter will say, Mama, come and talk to me. Or I want to steal some time to just write, and my husband will say, Come on, let's have food, or let's go here, let's go there. So मुझे लग रहा है कि जो माँ और बीवी का जो रोल होता है ना, वो सबसे खतरनाक रोल है, because you have to give in to others' demands. So वो मुझे लग रहा है कि I have to refine it better and better, and they are providing me the platform to do it. So I hope by the end of this life I'll be able to be a good mom and a good wife, and that role also you will add here, saying that ma'am ये roles भी आप कैसे करते हैं. But yeah, all roles are beautiful, and each role has its own facets and learning, you know.
Very true, ma'am. So, ma'am, if you can share with, if it is okay with you, ma'am, if you wish to share the first things that you do in the morning when you get up, the first few things that, like, people say that you should get up and do your affirmations, you should do this, that. So, from a person like you, I
So
would
the
like to.
first thing, um, I think the first thing that I do when I wake up is to recollect my dream. So I have a dream diary on my phone. So I will write down the dream that I had, or images, pictures, whatever that I had, or some thought that came in my dream. So I'll immediately write that down. That's the first thing I do, because I truly believe that the dream state is the most powerful state. So I will access that state before I actually get up, open my eyes. So I will write it down, and then I tend to do some stretching in bed itself, some physical stretching, because you have to wake up, the body has to wake up. So I do some stretching, and then I pray. Um, I pray for, because I have a bedside altar, so I will pray a little bit for just peace in the world, and for all my students, my clients who are in pain. So I pray for everybody. I do that in the morning. And then I go for my morning jog, and then I come back, and then I sit in, I mean, morning jog in the garden. I go, the garden is beautiful. So I sit there on the swing, and then I look at my WhatsApp messages in the morning in the garden. I'll prepare an Instagram reel or something like that. I start my day with fun, because I think when you start your day with fun and thinking about others and not about yourself, the day just begins beautifully. So that's really how I begin my day.
And, ma'am, if you can tell us which is the last book that you have read, and in your list of so many
I
lost
read
books of
many
philosophy.
books. Yeah, I read many books, but there is no last book that I read, because I read one book every day, and that is the Bhagavad Gita. So that's my first book and last book. And so I read that in the morning, maybe one shloka or something like that, and in the night before I go to sleep, also I'll pick up any shloka and I'll read that. So I generally read that in the morning, and I read that in the night. So that's really the book. That's the manual of life. I think if you understand the Bhagavad Gita, you understand everything written in the Bhagavad Gita, and you imply it, instill it in your mind, your life can be just beautiful, because that is the philosophy of this world requires at this moment. So
Very true.
for me, that's the book.
Ma'am, you have read my book. So would you like to share some the
Yes,
words?
I absolutely. This is the book Rashi's written, The Power of You. And I like this book. I even sent you a message, I remember, on WhatsApp after I read the book. It's a very practical to do book, because every chapter you've given some exercise at the end of every chapter. And I think that's something that's very important. In times of today, all the chapters, the various headings that you've given are actually the things people should do. Like chapter 7 has the heading, Adopt the Attitude of Happiness. Well, yes, that's what people should do. Or chapter 6, which I like the most, which is the power of imagination, which is something that I have just spoken about. And you have written something which is really correct, and that is imagination is fun. We spoke about fun just now. So, imagination is fun as you generate wonderful ideas in your head. It can help you view things differently beyond the limitation of your beliefs. What we've just spoken about, actually. It can help you to see things with a fresh perspective and look at any situation from different angles. It can help you in times of need by using powerful visions that motivate you to move forward when you are stranded or stuck. So, this is exactly what I have been saying, right? But so, what I'm saying is every chapter, Rashi, the heading is what the intention should be. So, for me, that's how, I love this also, the chapter 2, I think, in the section 2 that you have, goal setting by action takers, where you've given a lot of questions. And I think that's so wonderful because it helps people become reflective, which is what books should do. And I think that's why this book is really a very, very nice book. There's every chapter, clarity, um, self confidence, your headings are perfect. Because it's just, when for me, I can open, I don't need to read this book from the first page to the last page, like a story. I can just open any chapter and I can read it and it can give me something in return. So I'd suggest for people, buy this book, keep it at your bedside, and every day open one chapter, and do the exercise and read about what's being written, because you've quoted so many famous people and the way that they manifested their quest, that it's really amazing. I mean, I didn't know many things what people have said, but through your book, I came to know, kind of Napoleon said this, and uh, uh, Tony said this, and so it was very nice. You can get all that wonderful quotes that people have said right here. So I would say buy the book, guys. Power of You by Rani Roop Laxmi.
Thank you
Wow,
so
the
much.
name itself is great.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Coming from you, this really matters a lot. And as you must have seen, guys, I have mentioned ma'am also in the book because I feel that she is my mentor. And I believed that the words that she was saying, it was actually bringing a lot of change in my life. So I have actually quoted her also in the book. And few more questions that would I would quickly ask you, that will be desert questions, ma'am. I will not take a lot of your time. It will be
No,
just
no, not
quickly.
at all, not at
It
all.
will be like, which daring decision that you have taken till date?
Well, to marry, that was a daring decision. And to marry a struggling actor, that's a very daring and risky decision for me.
Okay. So, and ma'am, which is your favorite book?
Definitely the Bhagavad Gita, like I said.
And wonderful. That's wonderful, ma'am. And ma'am, who is your biggest critic that you
My
believe?
daughter, my daughter, she has views which are extremely radical.
Uh,
It's interesting. So she's my critic.
and ma'am, since you have interacted with so many people, so what is it that you like in, like, you would prefer to go indoor or outdoor? Like, you have been to so many places, so which place actually gives you the feeling of energy, and like being the in the energy center place, something like that, ma'am?
Well, I've traveled everywhere, but Rishikesh is my favorite place. I keep going there every year, twice a year, thrice a year. All my work is done out there. So Rishikesh calls me again and again. It's got great energy, great power, and I just love being there. I can't sleep when I'm in Rishikesh. I feel I can keep working the whole day, the whole night. It's got that kind of energy. So Rishikesh, definitely.
Wonderful, ma'am. And ma'am, what is it that brings spice to your life? What is it that actually brings energy to your life? Is it your just thoughts and your work? Is it that, or there's something else also?
I think my spice is added by all my WhatsApp groups. They are the spice of my life. There's so much of discussion and questions, and people put wonderful forwards, and they put their videos and photographs, and that's what's my spice in life. It's right there in my phone. I don't need to do anything for it.
Very true, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on my channel, Manifest Your Quest, and sharing your views with my viewers here, giving your valuable time to us. Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you so much, Rashi. It was a pleasure always. Thank you. God
Thank you,
bless.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here on my channel, Manifest Your Quest. And keep coming back. Keep subscribing my YouTube channel to know more about manifestation and meeting more powerful people who have been manifesting their quest in their lives. Okay, bye-bye. See you then. Keep coming back, guys. Keep subscribing, keep sharing, and keep liking. Bye.